All right, so we're scooping up the 4.5 in that spot. As for the other matchup, as we head out west, taking a look at it, it's really old guard meets new with an average age of the Grizzlies hovering around like 24 years old. Grizzlies did win at the Warriors 117-112 in overtime in that play-in game last season, and plenty of the precedent here this season set without Klay Thompson in the mix. Bill Reiter, as we break this one down, simply put, how much do you expect experience to be a factor in this matchup?
Yeah, I think it's going to be critical. I think you nailed it. If you look at the stats, the offensive and defensive rating, all the sort of numbers you can get into, this is a Memphis team that actually, if that were the metric, or those were the metrics we looked at, would be favored in this series, that have the stronger consistency over the course of the regular season. Some of that's because of health, obviously, issues for that Warriors team. It's the youth of Ja Morant and his supporting cast. It's the big question that's hung over this team all year. We know they're great. We know that their future is probably somewhere between great and extraordinary. But it's hard to bring that future into the present, even when you've had a remarkable regular season. When you're this young, I think, Joe, it's going to be a huge factor, and it will really depend on not just how Memphis handles the pressure and the challenge of a second-round series against a really good team, but they're the least experienced contender playing by far the most experienced contender, which is a really interesting juxtaposition and a big challenge for a young team.
As we said, it is a rematch from last year's play-in tournament, which means absolutely nothing, more likely than not. Maybe more indicative of outcome is the fact that the Grizzlies really had to smelling salt themselves to get here out of the first round. 3 wins when trailing by double digits heading into the fourth quarter against Minnesota. No one's ever done it before, and I'm not sure that's the approach you want to take against the road-tested Warriors. Where must Memphis be better?
Yeah, let me give you 3 things, and it all, I think, goes back to what you just referenced, which is their need to be more experienced. It's consistency, which you just talked about. You cannot expect to do multiple comebacks against the Golden State Warriors, and you don't want to have to try to do that against a Golden State Warriors team that has the best defensive rating in the NBA. That's number 1. Number 2, and it ties into that consistency question, you got to be great defensively, because this is a Memphis team that was a top 5 defensive team over the regular season, and their 2 losses to the Timberwolves, they gave up 119 points and 130 points. That's a top 8 offense they were going up against. The Warriors are capable of being so much more with Steph Curry healthy and Jordan Poole available, obviously, to be off the bench, or if they go small for big chunks of the game. Klay Thompson looking really good. And the third thing is, and again, this goes to how young these guys are, Ja Morant's a star. It's hard when you're young to be that great in the postseason. He was really good at times in that series, but he shot 20% from the three-point line. And while he's not a three-point specialist by any stretch of the imagination, Ja, over the course of his career and this year, basically makes 1 out of 3 of every three-point shot that he takes. It means that you can't cheat and you can't hedge, and you have to just give up some of that room, despite his ability to play downhill. When he's shooting 20%, it makes it easier to defend him, and it takes away a weapon that he and Memphis need. So Ja's got to be better. They've got to be better defensively, and they've got to be more consistent.
I mean, from Ja's dad's mouth to your ears, Bill Reiter, he said Ja played like trash in the first round. T. Morant getting in the mix as he loves to do. Just give me the T. Morant-Del Curry matchup. Let's just get that one out of the way early, right? As we take a look at the Game 1 line, it is as follows. Dubs are given 2. Totals coming in at 220.5. Where's the money to be made in Game 1, Bill?
Yeah, so I've got money on the Warriors. I'm on the Warriors. I'll give away 2 points if I have to. I probably would have given away 3. I'm not as confident on this one, Joe, because I know what the Warriors can be and will be. They're the best defensive team in the NBA. They've got Steph Curry back. They know what it takes to win an NBA championship, and they don't panic. Memphis is good enough to beat these guys, and certainly good enough to compete and cover if, and it's such an if, Ja Morant, as you noted, like his dad said, isn't hot garbage in this series. If this team can be more consistent. Can they do that? Can he do that? I honestly don't know. My guess is not, so I'm going to go Warriors, but I feel like there's room for some real adjustments game to game in terms of how we want to play each of these games and where the lines are, depending on what we see from Memphis in that first game.
And it is going to be a blast breaking them all down with our guy, Bill Reiter. Thank you, Bill.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.